evidence is there that there's something wrong fundamentally with the system, potentially from a monetary standpoint?
I believe it, but it's not a belief, just a belief, it's the truth. I mean, let's just analyze what we know, what we've learned. There was a study that came out just a couple months ago in the British Medical Journal, and it was a really good study. It was an analysis of the top causes of death. And so what this study came to the conclusion of is that heart disease and cancer were the number 1 and 2 killers. But the third leading cause of death was medical error. Now, what does that mean? Some people say, oh, well, they overdosed on the drug, or no, they died in surgery. No, medical error means the proper use of prescription medication. So if we look at the leading causes of death and we say, okay, how do we treat these things? Like the system that we have, what do we use to treat these leading causes of death? Well, we use medicine.
Yeah, so there's some good points there. We stuff medicine in the lymph system and clog it further, instead of going out for the real solution, which would be the anionization, so the anions, or standing on the bare earth, grounding pretty much. Going to the beach would be a good idea as the actual solution. And this is that autoimmune video, Betrayal. So I was just watching that and he made some good points there, so I thought I'd just quickly record that. Those 3 leading causes of death, the third one being, you know, proper medical subscribed drugs and, you know, proper medical advice killing people as the third leading cause of death. And if you look at the other 2, medications can affect the heart. They always say, you know, side effects can be heart arrhythmia and stuff. So, and cancer, if we look at what that is as well, pharmaceuticals make you very acidic as well. And if you've got any other acidity in your diet as well as taking them, you're definitely on a downhill slope and can get cancer if you're not alkalizing. So look, when we're grounding, you're also alkalizing. It's like the major alkalizing way to alkalize for the anions. So you get off the cations, and the cations have more positive charge, and we're reanionizing. So we're grounding out to negative charge. But it's not just that, we also then make the connection to everything, because then we're electrically connected when we take off our shoes to everything, literally. So then we're suddenly connected to everything. And so you make deeper connections through the mind field, so to speak. But yeah, so that's very interesting, and you know, psychedelics come in there and stuff to help you cosmically ground, you might say, or touch the cosmic fulcrums. And the major point there, though, is, you know, not stuffing something in the body like pharmaceuticals, but instead grounding and getting things out of the body. Because grounding initiates all the body's processes, from metabolism to immune system to everything. So it's like the major regulatory system, and the earth is sentient. And it has a light that scans you. It's like going into the scanning machine at the airport or something. You know, the earth can scan you when you're barefoot on it and see all the problems and fix them and initiate systems as well. That just naturally happens through the chi. You know, chi is life force energy. It's like movement energy, basically. So it gets your metabolism going, and your metabolism is like the complex function of all the biochemistry and all the reactions. So, you know, your chemical body, really, the electrical chemical body. And so when we sort that out, then, you know, nutrition even takes a back step. But obviously you want to alkalize, you know, be more alkaline, so fruits and green vegetables. But, and we know that cures cancer and all that, you know, that's all done. As far as I'm concerned, the evidence is obvious. And we know the answer there. But this whole thing of the grounding, a lot of people still aren't grounding, and it's hard, you know, like I'm living in a city at the moment, and I wanted to just say that grounding and negative charge is not the same thing. when we're on the, you know, grounded bed sheet or on the mouse pad for the computer and they're grounded and they're negative charge, it's not the same thing. Yeah, it's connected to the grounding wire into the earth, but most people aren't, you know, telesentient and telepathic enough to go through that wire and then connect with the earth. See, when you're standing directly on it and you're touching it literally, it's a lot easier. And you actually make a proper, like, cosmic connection then, you know. Not through trying to manipulate your mind through a wire to the earth. So, yeah, there's a difference between just a negative charge and then actually connecting to the cosmos, so to speak. To everything. You know, whatever information streams you then are connected to or can access. So anyway, that sorts a lot of things out that, you know, you're not going to hear anybody in the medical anywhere talk about that because nobody realizes this, and they've all got their shoes on as well. Notice, so guilty is charged, and, you know, seen as it is, and the truth of that's obvious. So, I mean, all I need to do is leave that in time, and it becomes more and more obvious of what I just said. So take your shoes off instead of shoving pills down you as much as possible. Look, sometimes we have to resort to antibiotics, but it's the last, like, not the first thing, you know. That's what, like, I think we need to change. Because if you look at the third leading cause of death being, you know, from the medical establishment, basically, it's time to change tactics. Wouldn't you say? It's at the ridiculous end.